there, my name is Kelly Dale and I'm owner of Off the Beaten Path, which is located in Forest City, North Carolina. For today's video, we're going to go ahead and complete the set that we've been working on for the last few weeks. The first thing I showed you was how to make the Diamond Duo earrings. Then it was the Diamond Duo ring. Last week was the Diamond Duo bracelet. And this week is the Diamond Duo necklace. Now, to save time, because if I don't, this would be a super long video, what you need to do, I'm going to be using the ring component and the earring component. Those are the two components that I'm going to be using to make this necklace. So I'm not going to show you how to make those components again. If you want to know how to do those, just refer back to the Diamond Duo ring and the Diamond Duo earrings. I will, however, get you to a certain point to show you what you need to know. So, for the project today, you're going to need 150 Super Duo beads, about 11 grams of a size 11 seed bead. You don't want it to be a delicate, you want it to be a regular seed bead. You're going to need 40 3mm round or bicone beads, either one that you prefer. 56 size 11 seed beads, about 7 yards of 6-pound fire line, a size 12 beading needle, a clasp, and 2 small jump rings. Now, here's what you need to know about needles. I get questions every day about why I choose certain needles for certain projects. For this particular project, I used a size 12 beading needle because, number one, it's a thinner needle. When you start going back through some of these beads to reinforce, it gets really tight. So if you try and use a size 12 needle, you're going to either, number one, lose your religion, or number two, you're going to break the needle in no time because, you know, you can't bend a needle that's not really bendable. So that's why I didn't use a size 10, I used a size 12. So a size 10 is thicker and it has a bigger head to it where you thread, and a size 12 needle is thinner and it has a smaller head. The only thing about a size 12 beading needle, you have to be careful because you're only probably going to get 1 or 2 uses if you do a big project like this. But I mean, they come in a pack. We sell them 6 for 75 cents, so they're very, very reasonable. But that's why I choose what I choose. But if you cannot thread either one of those needles or you don't feel comfortable using those, use a big eye needle. The only problem you're going to have with a big eye needle is you may not be able to get back through some of these 15s like you need to. So do what's most comfortable for you, but that's why I choose a size 12 beading needle, especially with these projects. When I get done with my needle, yes, it looks like a hot mess, and normally I chunk it and I grab me another one and just go with the flow. So do whatever you feel is best, but I'm going to use a size 12. So go ahead and get your materials together. We're going to start in the center of the necklace. So I'm going to be first showing you the ring component from last week or 2 weeks ago. So if you can't remember how to do the ring component, go back to the Diamond Duo ring and look at it. I am to the point in the ring where I'm starting to add the seed beads over the 4 points of my piece, and you'll see more of that here in just a minute. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get started. Okay, so here is my ring component that I've already gotten started, and I'm to the point, like I said, where I'm getting ready to add my points or my beads here to the points. So once I get to that step, and like I said, if you can't remember how to do it, go to the Diamond Duo ring. I'm going to pick up my 3 seed beads, and I'm going to stitch until I come out of this middle seed bead here right above my bicone. That will be the second seed bead that I picked up in that set of 3 previously. Alright, now that I'm there, whoa, okay, Sammy, that's not good. You'll need to edit some of this out, honey, because that is not what I wanted to happen. Now that I'm there, I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads, size 11, And I'm going to come back through this same bead that I'm coming out of to make a circle, so that when I pull it, it makes a little peacoat over the top of the bead. I'm going to stitch through my beads to come out of the seed bead here next to the point. And if you want to, you can go back through and reinforce that once more. It's completely up to you. Just be careful not to get your thread caught around any of your beads. Once I'm to the top, I'm picking up 3 11s, skip the super duo, and go down through my seed beads. And I want to exit this middle size 11 right above my 3mm bicone. That would be the second seed bead of a set of 3. Pick up 3 size 11s, and I'm going to come back through just that same seed bead to make my circle. And again, you can reinforce that if you wish by going back through those 3 beads again. I'm going to exit the top, 3 size 11s, and we want to stitch to exit the seed bead right directly above the 3mm. Three 11s, come back through the same bead and reinforce. Three 11s, pick up 3 11s, come back through the same bead you're coming out of to make a circle, so that once you have that added, you have 4 little points here. Go through and reinforce. And then you want to exit. If you look here at the top, I have my 3 beads that I added. 1, 2, and 3. Get them right here. Right there. There's my 3 beads that I've added. I want to come out of this very first bead that I added of that first set of 3. So I'm just going to come up and come through just that first bead. So there's my set of 3, and I'm coming out of the first one. You're going to pick up 3 11s, come back through that same bead, reinforce it, and then back through the first bead, through the second bead, and then the third bead. So I added a picot on the first bead here. I've went through the second bead, and now I'm coming out of the third bead. And once more, I'm going to pick up 3 size 11s, and I'm going to come back through the same bead to make a circle. So that once you do that, you have 2 picots here at the top, and then you have 4, 1 in each of these corners. Now these 2 picots here at the top, this is where we're going to actually connect the necklace straps for each side. These are just decorative through here. So go ahead and reinforce this circle and then tie the thread off with a couple of half-hitch knots. Alright, so now I have the thread tied off, and this is the center component for the necklace. So I'm just going to set this one to the side, and to save time, I have already started a component for the earring. If you can't remember how to do the earring component, just go back to the Diamond Duo earrings and you'll be able to see. Now I've just added my 3 seed beads here onto each end. So I'm going to stitch down to exit the middle seed bead here on the very end of my component. And I'm just going to go around through the outer beads. And this is why I say I use a size 12 needle, because I've already went through these beads several times here along the edge, and when you do that, it's gonna get kind of tricky and get kind of thick, so you just have to be careful and not bust any beads. And some of you may have noticed that I'm wearing a thimble on my finger. This is a really cute thing. When I do a lot of beadwork continuously, this finger takes the blunt of most of the needle, and even I have scars all along that little finger there where the needle pokes through. So you can see I've used this one so much, you can see everywhere where my needle has poked through. But this is by Clover, and they're the neatest little thing. A metal thimble doesn't work for me. I like to use this leather one because it's much softer on my finger, and it feels like, you know, the needle will just poke right through some of the leather, so you don't have to worry about it hurting your finger and sliding off like a metal thimble would. So if you wondered why I have it on, that's why. I've done a lot of beadwork here recently, and my fingers getting kind of sore. So, okay. So I have come out of the very end seed bead here, and first thing I'm going to do is pick up 3 size 11s, and I'm going to come back through this same bead to make my circle. If you want to, you can reinforce. Just go back through those beads again. And then I'll stitch around the outer edge beads to exit out of the middle bead here along the bottom. This bead is being ornery. There we go. All right. So here are the 3 beads that I added, and I'm exiting this middle seed bead. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my new earring component that I just made, and I'm going to lay it right next to the center component. And I'm going to start on this side, so I'm going to put it right here at this little peacoat. So I'm going to pick up one size 11 seed bead, and I'm going to come through the top hole, or the top bead of that one peacoat. Pull that through. Then I'm going to pick up one 11, and I'm going to come back through the same bead that I was just exiting out of to make my circle. Just the one bead there, so that when I pull it, those two components are now connected. And I'm going to see if I can zoom in just a little bit here for you. Here we go. So now you'll take and reinforce by going back through that bead, those two beads we added once more, and then you tie off the thread, and that will connect the first piece to the center piece. So once you have the thread tied off, this is what your piece should look like. I've gone ahead and started another component. And again, this is an earring component. I've already went ahead and added my loop to the top, and I'm coming out of the middle seed bead of a set of 3 here at the bottom. Now, just like I connected the first piece to the middle piece, I'm going to use that same technique to connect my new piece to my already connected piece. So as I said, I'm coming out of the second seed bead here. I'm picking up one size 11, and I'm going to come through the very top size 11 of my little peacoat there. Then I'm going to pick up one 11, and I'm going to come through the middle bead that I started with on the new component, so that when you get it done, that will give you another connection. And you may want to go ahead, reinforce this one more time, and then tie the thread off. You need 3 total components of the the earring components to do one side of the necklace. So go ahead, finish connecting this one, make your third one and connect it, and then I'll show you how we do the actual necklace strap. The finished piece on this, once you actually get it done, is about 17 inches. If you want it a little longer, you can add some more peacoats here in between, so that way it will extend the front a little longer. And, you know, of course, you can do the back as long as you need to, but if that was kind of a happy accident on one of the ones that I had made, I went ahead and had added a peacoat on each side and then connected it so it brought it about this much further apart. So that's always an option too. But go ahead, like I said, connect this one, make one more, and connect it, and then I'll show you how I add the side straps. I have all 3 of my components finished, and I have it connected to the center. And I'm exiting out of the top 11 from the third component. And now I'm ready to start actually making the necklace strap. So I'm going to pick up one 11, one super duo, and 3 11s. I'm going to let these beads drop down, and I'm going to come back down through the second hole of the super duo, so that when I do, those 3 beads that I added are kind of hanging out, making a little peacoat type look. I'm going to pick up one 11, and I'm going to come back through just the one 11 that I was originally coming out of to start this step, so that when I do this is what I'll have. Now, you want to reinforce by going through all the beads again. So go through the 1, the super duo, the 3 11s, the super, the 1, and then the base bead again. This is a very important step. If you don't go through and reinforce each time you add this little set here, your strap is going to look really loose and not good. So you want to go through and reinforce it, and then to get ready for the next step, you want to go through the 11, the super duo, the 11, and then the second 11 up here on the top. And this gets you into position to start the next little link. Now every link is exactly the same. So again, I'm going to pick up 1 11, 1 super, and 3 11s. I'm going to let those drop down. And I'm going to come back down through the second hole of the super duo. I'm going to pick up 1 11, and I'm going to come back through the same 11 that I started with to make my section. So that when you pull, now you have another little section. And remember, every time you add a section, go back and reinforce it. And then exit out of the middle seed bead here on the top. So I'm going to go through the 11, the super duo, the 11, and then this top 11. I'm going to show you one more time. An 11, a super duo, and 3 11s. I want to make my circle, so I'm going to come back through this same 11 I'm coming out of to make the circle. Oh, no, I'm not. Strike that. I'm going to let my beads fall and go down through the second hole here of the super duo. Then I'm going to pick up 1 11 and go back through that same middle seed bead I was just coming out of to make my circle. Reinforce by going back through the beads once more. Back through the same bead there. And then to get in position, I'm just going to go through the 11, the super duo, and then my 2 11s so that I'm coming out of the middle top 11. And you want to continue this little strap until you reach the desired length of the necklace. Okay, I have my strap completed, and I have 20 super duos that I've added down through here. This will make about a 17-inch necklace once you get the other side complete. Once I get to the end, I'm going to come out of the middle seed bead just like I normally would, and I'm going to pick up 6 seed beads. And I'm going to go back through the same bead I'm coming out of to make my circle, so that it gives me a little circle just like this. I'm going to go through and reinforce this a couple of times. And what I'm doing is I'm getting ready to add my clasp. If you don't like to add your clasp this way, this is just a suggestion. You can do whatever you like, completely up to you. This is just how I'm doing this particular one. Plus, the good thing about doing it this way is that if I make this and somebody wants to buy it and it's going to be a little too short, it'll be much easier to lengthen it without having to take apart my beadwork. I'm going to go ahead and tie the thread off with a couple of half-hitch knots. And I'm going to trim a little tail so that this is what I'm left with. Now I'm going to use my pliers, and I have added a jump ring, a pretty thick jump ring, so that it'll stay on there. I'm going to open the jump ring. Slide it through the loop I just made, and then close the jump ring. I use a pretty thick gauge jump ring so that it won't come apart when you wear it, and also you can use a twisted jump ring, which is virtually impossible to kind of pull apart yourself. So that's how I add the clasp. Now, what you'll do is you'll go back and you'll start and do the other side. You'll do the 3 components on this side, and then the same amount of beads for the strap that you've already added, and then you'll have your necklace complete. So I've got my necklace finished. I just wanted to show you what it actually looked like on. It's really comfortable, very lightweight, so it's just a really fun necklace piece to do and wear. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We do have a step-by-step pattern available on our website, which is offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com, as well as in our Etsy store, which you can find the link right below this. Also, we'll have kits for this available in our Etsy store, so that way if you don't want to pick out your own colors, we've already got them picked out for you. Come back next week when I'm going to get off the Super Duos for just a little while and teach you a couple of new projects that don't involve those. So I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye!